Ryan, what just in terms of Tyson Barrie, what have you seen from him off the ice that makes you realize what a pro he is and how he's handled all this?
Attitude. I mean, it's really easy for a player when you sat out a stretch like he did to come in and show your teammates, show the staff that's around bad body language, and or even voice your displeasure with the situation, but there's been zero of that. And even in conversations with teammates, you have your individual meetings with guys, and a lot of them would talk about him, how they really enjoy being around him, the quality person that he is, and all of them know the type of player that he is and what he's done in the past. So I think he's been the ultimate pro with how he's handled this whole thing, and he's kept himself ready. I always go back to Michael Stone because I spent the most time with him. They are the ultimate pros, guys that can do that, and that allows them to play in the NHL for long periods of time.
When you do decide to bring him in the lineup, like last night, or in future games, what is it you're bringing him in the game? Like, what do you have in mind for what he brings differently?
The offensive side. I mean, really, Tyson's strength is from the red line in on the offensive side of the blue line. So that's what you look for when he comes in. So if there's offensive zone face-offs or helping our power play unit out like he did at the top, that's his strength. So trying to find the mixture or the combination that works with our 6 guys in the back end in order to put them all in positions to succeed is what we have to do.
Ryan, do you find, when you've sat a guy that many in a row, like as they add up, is it almost harder to put him back in because
that's why the conditioning stint was so important for him. Because you get yourself out for periods of time, and then as a coach, you start thinking, like, what's his timing going to be like? It's been such a while since he's been in the lineup. How's he going to handle the speed and the pace of the game? So when he was willing and able, I guess, to accept that conditioning stint, I thought it was a really good thing for him because it gets him in that game mode and allows him to feel the pucks again. And I think that's important in situations that he was in to come back and be able to do that. So the work and practice, having those games, I think, he kind of puts himself at the front of mind again instead of kind of as in the back. Yeah.
Does it show you more about that attitude you talk about? Like, we're talking about a guy who hadn't played in the AHL for 12 years that says, yeah, sure, I'll go. Like, is that what you're talking about?
Totally. And I haven't been around the longest at this level for sure, but I say you do get frustrated sometimes when guys aren't that way because it's the greatest league in the world to play in, and you have to have that appreciation when you come to the rink every day, no matter what the situation is. You come to work, you come to enjoy your time and be very thankful for what you have here. And it frustrates me when a younger player is maybe like, oh, yeah, I deserve this or I deserve that. But when you see the guys that get it, have been around for a long period of time, they recognize what a great teammate is. You have a lot of appreciation for people like that. Yeah.
Ryan, when you've had a pairing like Ball and Anderson who played together all year, and then all of a sudden you don't have it for a few games, what is the trickle down on everything on your blue line?
I think the biggest thing is you have to get used to a new partner. They all have different tendencies in regards to how they want to play the game. With Raz and Ball, there's almost that unspoken conversation or communication between the two of them where they know what the other guy is typically going to do or where he's going to be. Now you have to kind of sort out and figure out some new partners. So to me, that's the biggest challenge. But having said that, defensemen have grown up their whole lives playing with different partners. So they understand how our team plays. They have to find a way to fit together. And for me, a lot of that is just communication. Make sure you talk when you're on the bench. Make sure you do a lot of talking when you're on the ice. Make sure you're both comfortable with how the other is going to play the game.
Is there any update on when Kevin might be back?
Yeah, he's going to be week to week. He's got an upper body injury, and we'll classify it as week to week.
Tyson back in the lineup. You went with 2 defensemen on the same power play for the first time in a little while. Tyson got an assist, hit the iron. Did you like that look? And does having 2 groups with different looks, 4 forwards on one, 3 forwards on the other, maybe make it more of a challenge to kill penalties against you guys?
I think the shot threat that we get with the unit that Tyson was on with Rasmus on that one side is something that we typically don't have with our power plays. So that is important for us. So I guess for your question, it does give us a little bit of a different look because you have to game plan against the one-timer a little bit because Raz can really hit it when he gets time over there, and Tyson does a good job of not making it obvious that he's going over there. So it does give us different looks to our units.
And going back to a little bit of Tyson and that attitude of not taking things for granted and appreciating where you are, how much of that do you feel is a part of this group's identity?
A lot of it. I really do. I mean, we have such a good room, guys that are very competitive, but they play hard for each other. And I think the tell for me every time we're in a game, if there is a scrum on the ice, there is typically 5 of our guys in there. And you see that with teams that are connected. And I think to your question, having people like that with attitudes like that goes a long way.
On Andres Kuzmenko, what role does confidence play on when you think he's on and when he's not on? Or are there other elements as well, or is confidence sort of the main driver for him?
I think that's a big thing. I do. Like Andres, it's hard to really get it from him, but he is a thinker, and he wants to do so well, and he wants to be a difference maker for your team. And when he has a few games like he has had recently, you notice that his feet start moving more. He's handling the puck more. He looks faster on the ice. He's starting to get his shot away more. That is confidence, but I always want to, you remind players like that, it's always earned. You put the time and you put the work in, your preparation's good, you've earned the right to feel confident about your game. So I don't really like to use the confidence word all that much, because all that stuff is earned. These guys are here for a reason. Andre scored 39 goals a couple years ago, and he scored a bunch for us last year. Like, he's earned the right to be confident. You just have to go every day and make sure that you continue to earn it.
Kevin now week to week, and you played a couple with him already. What do you miss most when he's not available to you?
With Kevin being out, the size and the reach. Like, he's very good at kind of being in the way. Like, his stick is very good, and he disrupts a lot. Like, sometimes you think he's beat, but whoop, here comes that big long stick. So he's been a very good defender for us, and there's no doubt we'll miss him while he's out. But opportunity, again, other guys have to raise their level collectively to try to make up for his absence.
In the way is usually more of a media description.
Yeah. That's what we say too. I mean, he uses his size fairly well. He's not, you won't look at him and say this guy's like a physically imposing player, but he reverse hits people. Like, he's difficult to get the puck from, and he's able to disrupt a lot of plays with the use of his stick because of the size he has.
Ryan, 3 games of 4 nights on both sides of this weekend.
Yeah.
Just relating to your defense, is there a challenge between, you have guys that step up and they're playing beyond the minutes they're normally playing,
yep,
but then monitoring that so it doesn't fall the other way? Like, what's the challenge where you can ride guys and push guys, but you have to keep track of that?
We do. I mean, that's something that Rick Davis does a lot of for us, our strength conditioning group. Like, they're right on top of all that stuff and the way guys are, but if you're a player that's playing a little bit more than you normally do, they should look at it as a real positive thing where they have to continue to show that they've earned and they deserve those minutes. So I don't foresee it being an issue at all for our guys.
I know goal setting is important. Do you guys have a goal as a team between now and the break?
We have bigger ones, we have smaller ones, we have weekly ones, so we do, Willsy. Yeah, we have a lot of them. Yeah.
You don't care to elaborate?
Like
some coaches
yeah.
break down, say they play 7-game segments or something.
Sure.
Do you do that?
We don't break it down in the 7-game segments, but we do have segments for our team, and we try to keep them. If you don't get the result you want one night, it makes it easy for us to help them shift gears for the next game. Yeah, 7 games can be a long time if it doesn't start the right way for a team. So we've adjusted a little bit how we do that.